Hello, Dawgpound South campers. This is the Cleveland Browns Dawgpound South podcast, part of the Fanatical Elves Network, part of the Fans First Sports Network. I'm your host, Steve Gill. As you can tell behind me, it's a beautiful sunny day here in Nashville, Tennessee. Going to warm up this week, be very nice. I think we're going to get up to 62 today, and by Wednesday, possibly 72. Weird. But anyway, a little news and notes. Just found out a little while ago that safety Juan Thornhill was released. Give him an opportunity to find another team before free agency starts. As Jack Duffin pointed out this morning, you can kind of see that one coming because at second half of the season, he was splitting reps with Ronnie Hickman. So that saves the Browns $7 million. A couple other to pay attention to. Wyatt Teller, unless they redo his deal, I really can't see them paying him over $14 million this year. And another one, I don't know if they're going to release Posick. They might need him, but there's another one to watch just in case. As the Browns maneuver the salary cap to get salary cap compliant by the beginning of the league year, which is on March 12th. So what else is going on today? Well, the Combine starts this week, the Underwear Olympics. News, Shedeur Sanders is not going to throw at the Combine, no surprise. Usually NFL analysts and draft experts overanalyze arm strength. But so we'll see. He is going to be interviewing, so that's good news. I anticipate we all know the Browns are going to have him, and they should interview him, and they're going to interview all the top draft picks because that's what you're supposed to do when you're at the Combine. Other things they'll be doing is possibly doing potential free agent signings, wink, wink, nudge, nudge with agents. You will not hear about that. If I should hear anything, just follow me at my Twitter handle at CTownThug. If I hear things, I repost it and put it out there for you. So, couple news I recently did my blog, and I have a lot of information at dogpoundsouth.net about the Combine. Just a little reminder, tomorrow at noon Central, 1 o'clock Eastern, Andrew Berry will talk to the media, and then Wednesday at noon Central, 1 o'clock Eastern, Kevin Stefanski will talk to the media. So that's always interesting as the local media complains that they don't say anything, and they shouldn't. I don't see why they have to tell anybody anything. They're going to get asked a million times about Myles Garrett. Kevin Stefanski will say, well, that's an Andrew Berry question, and they'll have asked Andrew Berry, and Andrew Berry will probably tell people we're not interested in trading Myles Garrett. And I keep emphasizing this, and you're going to see a ton of this on social media between now and when the Combine ends, all the possible trade scenarios for Myles Garrett. I'll say this again. If they trade Myles Garrett, they're going to be a terrible team for the next 2 years. And Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski won't be going anywhere. For those of you who want them fired, they won't be going anywhere because it is not their doing if Jimmy Haslam says, all right, trade him. So, and even though everybody and their grandmother right now is saying, well, he could go to this team, he can go to this team, they're not going to intentionally kill themselves financially just for one player. Does Myles Garrett care that if he's traded, he puts the team in financial problems? No, and he shouldn't. I mean, NFL teams trade and release players constantly. It's a business. So why would he care? He doesn't care, and he shouldn't care. So just remember that. And when you hear all these, well, especially on Cleveland Sports Talk Radio, they're into it in the first 5 minutes. So let's take a little break. Yeah, I tuned in the really big show this morning, and I had to turn it off. I don't, you know, everybody is hypothesizing that where Miles is going to go. He's not going to get traded, and if he does, like I said, if he does, the team's not going to be any good. So let's hope they don't trade him. They're probably going to make him the highest paid defensive lineman if he signs an extension, $200 million. If he doesn't sign an extension, they control him for basically 4 years. He's got 2 left on his contract, and they can franchise take him for 2 more years. So, and anyway, if they do trade him, then you're stuck with Deshaun Watson for another year. They have, like I've said, they have a clear plan to get rid of Deshaun Watson by the second day of the league year in 2027. So, and that's what they're working on, getting rid of him and getting out from under his contract. So, what else is going on? Not much. It's a slow period right before. I know Thursday night I had mentioned that basically this team is the same team that won 11 games in 23. And then, I always get they only won 3 last year. Well, yeah, you're right. They did. They started tackle number 5 and tackle number 6, first game against Dallas. Now, just to remind everybody, when the Browns set their final 53, they always, and since Andrew Berry has been there, they always keep 10 offensive linemen on the roster. So that means tackles 1 through 4 are on the roster, and tackles 5, 6, 7, possibly 8 are on the practice squad. So if you're starting 2 players who you expected to be on the practice squad, your tackles are going to stink. And, that's no way to start a season with crappy tackle play. And the offensive line wasn't that great to begin with. So, I went back and I watched a few games. They could have won the Raiders game. They could have easily won the Raiders game. They could have won the Philly game. They could have won the Denver game, and they could have won the Kansas City game. There's 4 games right there. If players don't do stupid things like throwing interceptions into triple coverage. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Jameis Winston, or people when you get down in the red zone and your offensive linemen do stupid things. Then yeah, you're going to lose 14 games. It's a team game. So I am not concerned about this roster. I am not concerned that I know people are saying they should rebuild. They're not in a rebuilding mode. I am looking forward to the free agency. If you want to, I have 6 positions that I think the Browns should sign either a starter or backup. They're guard, center, offensive tackle, tight end, safety, now that Thornhill is gone, and of course, quarterback. You can find those articles at Fans First Sports Network. If you want to go back and read them. If you don't agree with me, tell me why. I'll read it. I don't get bent out of shape if somebody disagrees with me. I don't care. So free agency will come first. We'll hear a few news and notes and stuff that, Andrew Berry was talking to this guy or this agent was talking to Andrew Berry, and you never know. But I fully expect them to get cap compliant. I expect another restructure for Deshaun Watson so they can set it up so he's gone by 2027. I expect I don't know about Wyatt Teller, man. He played well in 23, but in 24, I think they were anticipating him getting better as the season went on. But even when Mike Vrabel was this offensive line coach, he really wasn't that good. Batonio said over the weekend that he hasn't decided if he's going to retire or not, and his decision is not going to be based on if Myles Garrett gets traded or not. So that's good. And also we heard from Denzel Ward again that he thinks they're only a quarterback away from competing. I would agree with that. So we'll see what happens. But like I said, they'll will have enough money on free agents. Andrew Berry said that at his end of the year news conference. We'll have the money to sign players. So I believe him. And why not? I know a lot of people are still pissing and moaning about analytics. If you watch the movie Moneyball, which I have, the character who was supposed to be Paul DePodesta, does he actually make decisions in that movie, or does he tell Billy Beane, played by Brad Pitt, information? That's all it is. Analytics is information, and that's all Paul DePodesta does: collect information. He doesn't make decisions. So get that out of your head. I could argue that they should follow analytics more. If they actually follow analytics more, they would have drafted Wirfs and not Wills. If they followed analytics more, and what you're going to hear a lot of at the Combine, relative athletic score, RAS, R-A-S, if they followed that a lot more, they wouldn't have drafted David Bell, and they wouldn't have drafted Sika Ika. They had both of those. They had bad relative athletic scores, which comes out during the Combine. So to watch it, NFL Plus, I know, you got to subscribe to that, but just pay attention to social media. There'll be videos of all the different players. Everybody will get enamored by 40 times, which really don't mean anything. I'm more wondering what size hands that Sanders and Ward has. Ward had a lot of fumbles. And also Travis Hunter's weight. I heard he's 175. Now, for a wide receiver, you can get by with that. As a defensive back, not so much. The big wide receivers in the NFL will bruise and batter you. So also, I'd like to see which group he works out with. Go to dawgpoundsouth.net. I have a full list of when each position group are going to be participating in the Underwear Olympics. So I'm really interested in seeing what he weighs and where he works out. Will he work out with the defensive backs, or will he work out with the wide receivers? I think I have heard that he's going to work out with the defensive backs. So that's going to be interesting. So everybody enjoy the Combine. It's a lot more important than people think, especially the player interviews. So have a great week. And this has been the Cleveland Browns Dawgpound South podcast, part of the Fanatical Elves Network, part of the Fans First Sports Network. I just hope everybody has a great week. Watch social media, see what's going on. And like we always say, we're Browns fans just like you. So I want to thank you for following, watching, subscribing, and listening. Everyone, have a great day.